On 31st January 2024, RBI came hard down on Paytm Payments Bank, allowing it time till 29 Feb 2024 to wind down its banking services and to cease further onboarding of deposits or customers thereafter. Does it mean there will be no more Paytm Karo for us as users, merchants going forward? Let's delve into this question in this particular video. Hello everyone, welcome to iExamB and prepare 50% faster by embracing the iExamB learning experience. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and press the like button and the bell icon to get updates on the latest happenings in the financial and economic space to prepare for your various government job exams. I am Prachi Agarwal, the finance faculty at iExamB. I have more than a decade's experience in the financial world, having worked with hedge fund and credit ratings. I have also been mentoring and teaching various finance subjects at iExamB from the last 6 years. In today's video, as I said, we are going to talk about RBI's decision to curb the banking services of Paytm Payments Bank. RBI, in its action against the Paytm Payments Bank, has said that they cannot take further deposits or allow credit transactions which may be associated with the customer's accounts, prepaid instruments, their wallets, FASTags or NCMC cards after the February 29, 2024. They can also not provide any further banking services or related to the UPI facility after this date, and any nodal accounts of the Paytm Payment Services or 197 communications will also stand terminated after February 29, 2024. What does this mean for you as a consumer who has been using UPI, or as a merchant who has again been using the services of Paytm for taking and settling transactions? We will understand in this video, but it is much more important to realize this action has come against Paytm Payments Bank and not Paytm Payment Services. Okay, so there's a distinction between the two, and what it is, we will see it further. To understand, is this action being taken by RBI in haste? RBI has stated no. And if we look at the history of Paytm with RBI, this states that this has not come out of all of a sudden. Soon after, Paytm, when it got the payment bank's license in 2017, in 2018 itself, less than a year of its functioning as a payment bank, RBI had actually warned Paytm Payments Bank that time also that there were certain lapses that were found in the KYC that of the new users that they were onboarding. KYC stands for Know Your Customers, right? This is a very important process for onboarding so as to avoid and to prevent any kind of money laundering or illegal activities to take place. So knowing your customer who is getting included in the financial system is very important for the banking space. RBI had that time also found lapses by Paytm Bank in the deposit limits. It being a payment bank, there was a limit on the number of or the amount of deposit that the payment bank could keep, and that limit was also being broken as per RBI's audit. This was in 2018 when RBI had banned Paytm Bank from onboarding new customers for almost 6 months. Thereafter, between 2019 and 2022, there were various other audits being done by RBI, supervisory actions taken, and RBI had warned Paytm Payments Bank for regulatory mishaps and regulatory non-compliances, and been warning for a long time. Now, after all these years and fair warnings being given, RBI has finally taken the call and taken a very strict action with an ultimatum of February 29, 2024 to seize its banking operations. So that's about the history of this action being taken by RBI. Of course, Paytm is Paytm's parent company, which goes by the name 197 Communications Limited, has seen a beating in the stock market. So this is a listed entity and had come out with an IPO at a very high valuation few years back. After this action by RBI came on the 31st, the stock price of the share has fallen by more than 40%. If we talk about its recent peak, from there it has fallen down by almost 70%, and from the IPO it is well below 85%. So a huge beating has been taken in the Paytm's listed parent company 197 Communications Limited, because it's going to hugely impact the business of Paytm. However, what does it mean to you as a consumer who is using a e-wallet or a UPI services through Paytm, or as a merchant who are using QR codes or sound boxes and scan machines for accepting payments for their businesses? Or what does it mean if you are carrying a FASTag or a NCMC card, National Common Mobility Card, which is used for your transport, one single card being used for your mobility related to buses, metros, across the nation, is also going to be impacted or not. So we will discuss this and understand what exactly has happened, which parts of the businesses of Paytm are going to be impacted, and how does this disrupt the entire UPI system for Paytm users. To start with, as I told, the legal entity behind the name Paytm is 197 Communications Limited. This is the parent company, and it has various subsidiaries and associate companies and joint ventures which carry out the various services under this fintech. Okay, few of the major of these associate or subsidiary companies include the Paytm Payments Services, that helps you to use and provide you the wallet and the UPI services. Then there is the Paytm Payments Bank Limited, and then one of the other important companies associated with this is the Paytm Financial Services Limited. As I told you, these are just few of them. Paytm overall has almost 42 different companies which are a part of this overall parent company in the form of a subsidiary or an associate or a joint venture. Now, what is the difference between a subsidiary, an associate, or a joint venture? This is something you should look up if you are preparing for exams like SEBI. Okay, and otherwise also to make a good career in finance, you should be aware about these things. I will take that up maybe sometime later. Today, to continue with this particular topic, the action that has now come against is actually against one of the associate companies of Paytm, the parent company, which is your Paytm Payments Bank Limited. So this is an associate company in which 197 Communication Limited has a 49% stake or a shareholding, right? Now, how is this important? For this, we need to understand how Paytm does its business. Okay, so this is a very simplistic business model of Paytm, which I have picked up from their website itself. So Paytm, as we know it, is providing us payment services, right? So as users, we may have the app of Paytm, which we are using to make payments to other people, which we call P2P, peer-to-peer, or P2M, people to merchants. We may be paying it for buying certain things from shops, merchants of different categories, and we could also be using to transfer money to a friend, to a colleague and all, from one mobile and all to the other using the Paytm app. So these are the payment services that they are providing with through this company, Paytm Payment Services. They also provide other commercial services to various merchants. For example, booking of tickets, e-tickets are being booked. Maybe you are booking your movie tickets, your flight tickets, your train tickets, right? You could also, some of you may also be paying your bills related to electricity and water. Some of you may be using it to pay your or recharge your mobiles, right? Pay your mobile bills or recharge these mobiles. So these are the various commercial services that different merchants are availing, and they help these services being provided to the user. So this all is being done with the help of the Paytm Payment Services company, right? Paytm also leverages this data and technology that it uses for this entire payment ecosystem to distribute, with the help of its brand image, its presence, its insights and technologies and data related to various consumers and merchants. It uses this to distribute various financial services as a third party for other financial entities and banks. For that, they may help give personal loans, merchant loans. They may also have co-branded credit cards with other banking partners, right? So they directly cannot provide this because they are not a full-fledged bank. They have one of the associate companies, which is the Paytm Payments Bank. So it is a payments bank and not a commercial bank. So they do not have these facilities. So what exactly is a payments bank? We will talk about it in a bit, right? To understand the size of Paytm in the entire ecosystem of UPI payments, you can look at this data, where as of the latest reported data by Paytm, December 2023, they have average transacting users almost 10 crores. These almost 10 crore users they have. They have almost 1.06 crores onboarded as merchants on their systems, on their ecosystem, and the business, the payments volume that they are, the total merchant volumes, payments volumes that they are dealing with is almost 5.1 lakh crore. So it's a huge amount of transactions that are being done. And what role does Paytm Payment Bank plays in all of this is what we will take up in a bit. Before that, taking up the difference between what is meant by a payments bank. A payments bank was a type of a bank that was introduced in 2014-15 on the recommendation of a committee that was chaired by Mr. Nachiket More. Okay, so all these are important information if you are preparing for regulatory body exams or for any banking exams. You should understand what a payment bank is or the other different types of banks and who went into their recommendation or their introduction, right? So Nachiket More committee, when payments bank was introduced, along with it we also had another type of bank that was introduced, which is the small finance banks, right? But we will stick to payments bank in this particular video. What was the objective? The objective of setting up payments bank was financial inclusion, right? And to provide payment services to different kinds of people at each level in our country. So the idea was to penetrate till the lowest level in our country, to be able to provide them with the payment and the financial services to small businesses, low income households, migrant labor in a secure technology driven environment. These payments bank are allowed to accept demand deposits, which is demand deposits we mean saving bank accounts or current account deposits up to rupees 2 lakh. That's the limit. So if you remember, I told you in the beginning, RBI had once found in 2018 that they were flouting this limit. That means consumers were holding more than 2 lakh, right, at the end of the day, which is not allowed. Payments bank can hold only up to 2 lakh maximum deposits on any end of the day, right? And these deposits these payments bank will facilitate in making remittance services, mobile payments, any kind of transfer of money, purchase or other banking services like ATM with the help of a debit card or net banking or third party funds transfer. What they are not allowed to do is give credit or give loans in the form of direct loans or credit cards, right? So this is where we go back to the financial model, that they are providing the financial services of giving a personal loan or merchant loan. The loan comes from another bank. They are partnering with them to use their distribution network, their data and technology to facilitate and help these banks give out merchant loans and personal. So they themselves cannot give out these loans as a holder of a Paytm Payments Bank license. Right? In India, as of today, we have 6 payment banks, one of which is Paytm Payment Bank, of course. Apart from that, we have the Airtel Payments Bank, India Post Payments Bank, Fino Payments Bank, NSDL Payments Bank, and Jio Payments Bank. Right? So this was all about the payments bank. Moving ahead, before I move ahead, I would like to tell you about the iExamB latest app, which is now available on the Google Play Store, and you can access from this app your live classes, your daily quizzes, your full courses for the various exams that are available on iExamB, and also remain updated with the daily current affairs. So if you've still not downloaded the app, please go ahead and download it from the Google Play Store. Carrying on with the understanding of where the role of the Paytm Payments Bank comes in the entire UPI and payments ecosystem where Paytm is working. Now, the Paytm Payment Bank works as a nodal bank. What we mean by a nodal bank is when the payments is being done, okay, so you are using your app, okay, Paytm app, and making a payment to say a merchant who gives you a QR code to scan and make the payment. So the money that goes from your bank to this merchant's bank is first held on this Paytm app where you're holding. This is first held in a nodal bank, right? This nodal bank acts as an escrow account where all the money gets pooled in, and by the end of the day the money is settled and transferred to the bank account of the merchant. So this nodal banks act as the bank for assisting in these payments. Now, how do we know who is the nodal bank in your particular app? So you may not necessarily be using only Paytm. There are various other players in the UPI like your Google Pay, Phone Pay are also there where you use. But the nodal bank is the bank that is providing this escrow account, and it has to be a bank. It could be a payments bank also. Paytm was a very big beneficiary of this entire system because they had an in-house payments bank, which is the Paytm Payments Bank, serving as the nodal bank for the payments being done on the Paytm app, right? So how do you get to know the nodal bank? As I told you, whenever you open your UPI app, any of these payment apps, your address will have something mentioned, maybe your name followed by @Paytm or @YBL or @OKSBI or OKHDFC, which is stating basically the nodal bank that is serving in this payment process. So YBL is for Yes Bank, SBI is for State Bank of India, HDFC Bank, like this ICICI banks, okay. So many other banks provide these nodal services. The benefit that Paytm has was they had their own payment bank which could serve as the nodal bank, which in case of Google Pay and Phone Pay was not there. They had to depend and tie up with other banks, say for example with SBI, with Yes Bank. So Yes Bank has a very big business in this by tying up and serving as the nodal bank for Google Pay and Phone Pay. Right? So PPB, which is the payment bank of Paytm, it is one of the largest beneficiary banks in the UPI ecosystem. Why? Because all these Paytm related were directly going to Paytm Payments Bank and not a third party or a different bank, which in case of Google Pay, as I said, was Yes Bank, because after Paytm Payments Bank, Yes Bank is the other biggest beneficiary of these UPI transactions, followed by State Bank of India. Paytm Bank although had another better advantage because they have so many merchants onboarded with them, who end up having Paytm Payment Bank as their nodal bank, they become the largest beneficiary. That means the incoming transactions of a UPI payment is much higher than the overall payments that go out. So we as a user send out payment. If you are a merchant, you have incoming transactions, right? So beneficiary is when you have more incoming transactions. So because they have a huge number of merchants enrolled on their Paytm systems, their transactions in incoming was much higher than any other bank, despite Google Pay and Phone Pay having a higher market share in terms of the UPI payments by volume, right? So this is how Paytm Payments Bank gives an advantage, or gave an advantage to Paytm's overall business. Now coming back to how does it impact you if you are using an e-wallet or a UPI service using Paytm. As I told you, it all depends on the nodal bank. So if the bank account that is associated, or the nodal account associated with your wallet and UPI is that of Paytm Payment Bank, then you need to shift that, okay, because you will not be able to use or credit money to it further after 29th, right? So go and check if it is which it is linked to. If it is some other bank, your services will not be disrupted. Why? Because the RBI's action is against the payment bank of Paytm and not the payment services provided by Paytm. So your payment services will continue. You can use UPI, you can use your wallet as till the time you are loading money from a bank other than the Paytm Payment Bank. But if you are loading money, or if your nodal bank is Paytm Payment Bank, in that case you will not be able to add money or top up your account after 29th Feb. What happens if you have already money in that? Will you be able to withdraw? Yes, you will be able to withdraw. So if it is your money which is lying in that account, in the wallet, in your UPI, you will be able to use till it finishes. But after 29th Feb, you will not be able to add more money to it. If you are a merchant, if you are using QR codes and sound boxes, again, it all depends on what is the back nodal account that you are linked with. If your Paytm Payments Bank is your nodal account or the bank account, your services will be disrupted. You have to move to another bank, and that is exactly what Paytm is trying to do now. Okay, it is tying up with different banks to move the nodal accounts of its various customers, its various merchant banks, to their banking nodal accounting system. That's exactly what they are doing, to carry on with uninterrupted services for their merchants, because if they are not able to do that, they will also lose the merchants using their payment services, which they don't want, of course. So that is what, if you are doing that, you have to shift, and Paytm is doing that and helping in that. If you are using NCMC card or FASTag, again, till you have money in them, you can utilize them even after 29th Feb, but you will not be able to add further money. It will become dysfunctional after you exhaust the money already loaded in these cards. So that is how it will affect you in the entire payment ecosystem. How it will affect Paytm? Of course, it will have an impact. As I said, they had a leverage by having a nodal in-house account, banking account with them, which will now be moved to other banks. So yes, they will have a loss of revenue to that extent, and that's what's also reflecting in the share prices that is falling. Paytm, on the other side, has set up a committee, and it is, consisting of very learned, experienced people. This committee, it's an advisory committee which is being chaired by the former SEBI chairman, Mr. M. Damodaran, and it also includes other professionals like M. Chitale, who is a former president of ICAI, Indian Institute of Chartered Accountants, and Mr. R. Ramachandran, who is a former CMD of Andhra Bank. So they have set up this committee. The idea of setting up this advisory committee on them is so that they can advise Paytm on the compliances and regulatory matters. Something which RBI is saying, that there are regulatory non-compliances being done by Paytm again and again after so many ultimatums and warnings. So they have set up this committee to get advice from the learned people in the banking and financial markets space. What has RBI said? RBI has said that the consumers, the depositors, safety is of paramount importance, and this is not an action that has come in haste. They will, however, they understand Paytm role in the entire ecosystem, and they will ensure that Paytm related customers' inconvenience is minimized. This was a statement given by one of the deputy governors, Mr. Swaminathan. And RBI has further gone on to state that in this coming few days, they will also release a frequently asked questions related to payment related queries that various consumers or merchants may be having. Right? So please wait for that also if you are a merchant and if you are a consumer and want to further understand how it was going to impact you. However, in this video, I have tried to tell you in a nutshell how it is going to impact you and not impact you. So that's all from my side. Before I move out, I have a question for you. I told you the name of one of the deputy governors here, Mr. Swaminathan, who stated that any inconvenience would be minimized in relation to this decision taken by RBI. Can you for me name the other 3 deputy governors of RBI in the comments box? Please do write in the comments box. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and press the like button and the bell button if you found this informative and useful. If you're preparing for any government job exams, please don't forget to visit our website for more details. Or if you're looking for help in the private sector jobs, RXMB is also helping in that now. So do visit our website for various opportunities, job opportunities available in the country now. Thank you. Wishing you all the best.